Hello YouTube. What you're seeing today is my very first bug out bag that I made 2 years ago. And I'm not going to show you it because I'm quite ashamed of it and it basically sucks. So what I wanted to do was start a new series on my channel on creating a bug out bag. Actually, I want to redesign what I have here. I've done a lot more research over the past couple of years and have a lot of good ideas, I think are good ideas, for what kind of direction to go with the bug out bag. So I wanted to start a new series called my bug out bag redesign. And basically the items, it was going to be called Building a Bug Out Bag. And I am no expert by any means on backpacking or military or camping or survival, but I do a lot of research before I do anything. So I was going to call this Building a Bug Out Bag. And what I wanted to do with this bug out bag, similar to what I did with my EDC bag, is have everything organized, highly organized in different compartments. So each area of the bag I wanted to discuss in details in different videos. For example, having a food video or having a communications compartment video. And all those compartments would be something similar to, what you saw in my EDC backpack. So the series is going to be broken up in a couple different parts. One of the parts is going to be just a R&D, a research and development of, going through the process, for example, of a hygiene compartment and kind of talking over all the decisions that I made into it, or kind of feeling out which ones would be best and getting ideas from you on YouTube, because I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of good ideas, and then showing an actual finished product of what I have for that compartment. So I'll come out with one video saying, all right, this is the R&D of my water purification compartment, and then later I'll hopefully have a finished product that I could show you. And so that I kind of showed examples of how I would probably title those. Still kind of figuring it out. So the goal I wanted to have with this new bug out bag redesign was to have it lightweight. This one currently is way too heavy for me to even pick up and carry around at my house, let alone to have to bug out somewhere. So I wanted to find a good balance between ultralight and heavyweight. I call it heavyweight backpacking. And so a lot of people, they're getting their influences, I see, from other YouTube videos on bugging out. But what I wanted to do was get a lot of my influences through Thru-Hikers, guys that hike 80 miles over the summer, and I know that they have a lot of ultralight equipment that they use, which is semi-expensive and might not be as good for a bug out situation, but a lot of it probably might be. For example, I'd rather cut back on some weight on some items to be able to carry more ammo, for example, or more things that are more for a survival situation. And so for my inspiration for ultralight, I'm going to use Erik The Black, who has a real nice channel and a nice website on ultralight backpacking. He's a Thru-Hiker. And then for my heavyweight inspiration, it's going to be Nutnfancy, because he has a lot of verbos and knows a lot about so much gear. But for me, I thought it might be, if I wanted to have a Nutnfancy bug out bag, it'd probably be pretty heavy. Probably include a inflatable raft and stuff like that. So I was hoping to keep my bug out bag weight at 30 pounds. I'll probably go up to 35 if needed, and that's fully packed with food and water. And to do that, I'm going to have to weigh everything, absolutely everything, using something like this digital postal scale that I have. So going back to the compartments, I wanted everything that I had in its designated compartment. So, for example, one of the items I have is a SAS survival pouch, and so I was going to be planning on using a Mountain Smith Vibe 2, or having a hygiene pouch similar. This is from my EDC bag. But everything I was going to have in a compartment. So, tools, food. I was going to talk over those in a later slide. So the compartments will probably be waterproof when it's needed. So if there's electronics in it, it's going to have to be waterproof. I wasn't necessarily going to have the backpack be waterproof, but all the compartments I felt need to be waterproof. Also, I wanted to have a labeling system with a color scheme to assist others. So, for example, I'm married, so if my wife, for whatever reason, had to use my bug out bag, if I wasn't able to, she would be able to navigate herself through the bag and be able to identify all the different areas. So, for example, if I was injured, she would be able to find my medical pouch and know all the items that are in there. So I was planning on having ID tags on all of them and have them color-coded and laminated. So I was going to be trying to be extremely organized with this versus what I did the last time. And all the items in the compartments are going to belong to a master inventory list. I've seen a couple guys do this on YouTube, and I think it's a good idea. Again, that'll probably be laminated, and I just want to have everything mapped out. So to kind of avoid having, well, I might have this, you never know when you're going to need it, that kind of thing. So I want to know all the situations as much as possible that I'm going to need stuff, and I'm hoping that you guys could help too. So this is what I had listed out for my compartments. So number one, I was going to have an SAS survival pouch, or just something that I have. I'm going to have it in a backpack, but I also want to have a pouch similar to a fanny pack. By the way, I would never have a fanny pack for my EDC. I know Nutnfancy does. I just don't want to pull it off. I got to have some style points too. But if it's a bug out situation, I'm not really going to care what I look like. So that's the only reason I saw to have a fanny pack. Anyway, so just to kind of go through all the items, I was planning on having a survival pouch. This is in no particular order. A food pouch, a water purification, water. I was going to have a lot of redundancy with the water. Just a basic shelter. Communication, so by that I mean having ways of communicating to the outside world, or having a radio, walkie-talkies, a pen flare, a whistle, those kind of items. For medical, that include in first aid kit, any prescription medications, antibiotics, things like that. I was also going to separate my tools. Nutnfancy would call them utilities, but the tools into urban tools and rural tools. So for urban, that would be something like a screwdriver, or some kind of pliers or wire cutters, things that I wouldn't necessarily have if I was out in the sticks somewhere. And then I was also going to have tools that are specific to rural, like a shovel or different fire starters. And this tools pouch may be dumped if I'm in the woods for some reason, but since I live in the city, I need to have something like that, I figured. Next, money, barter items, also hygiene. So that's bath supplies, my weapons compartment. Personal items such as I wear glasses, so extra glasses, maybe some playing cards, family photos, things like that I'll hope to want in a bug out situation. A clothes pouch. This is one I was planning on heavily relying on the Ultralight backpackers, Thru-Hikers, for their ideas on clothes. And then a cooking compartment, so anything regarding cooking. So, kind of keep going with my strategy. Again, I'm not an expert on any of this. I'm just a white-collar, working-class guy. But I do kind of obsessively compulse over different things, and I do a lot of research. So I'm planning on researching every single item I have in here very heavily, and I'm hoping to get a lot of input from different YouTube viewers, guys that have experience in certain items that could offer their expertise on it. Also for my strategy, since I'm a family man, I have a wife and kid, a newborn. The whole plan for me is to blend in. I'm not going to roll out there like Mr. Lock and Load, for example, and be all tacked out in tactical gear and a vest and all sorts of things. So I just want to look like a normal backpacker family guy trying to survive. I was going to disguise my true intentions. Yes, I'm making a bug out bag. Everyone on YouTube will know what it is. But if people are asking, I'm going to say, yeah, I'm looking at getting into backpacking, trying to get into better shape. I want to go on a through hike one of these days. But really, this is all for a bug out bag. But if, for the wife, for friends that are asking, hey, what are you doing with all this gear? It's going to be because, hey, I'm into backpacking now, even though I'm really not. And to pay for a lot of this, I don't want to, break the bank into this. So I'm going to start selling a lot of old gear on eBay and Craigslist to pay for the new gear that I have. I don't want to charge it up all up or anything like that. And I can't afford to just have this be a write-off where I finish this, maybe a year from now, and then just keep it in the closet. So I actually want to try to use it. So I'm going to try to use this backpack, my bug out bag, and try to do some backpacking with it, some camping, try to do some family activities. And of course I'm going to have it all repacked, ready to go, and sitting in the closet when I'm not doing those. But the items that I have in here aren't just going to be a complete write-off that I'm just not going to touch until it is a bug out situation. I can't afford that. But I can't afford to, if you're going to spend $1,000 to $1,500 on a bug out bag, that's kind of pricey to do. But it's not unreasonable if you were going to start getting into backpacking, I figured. And just for future planning, I'm hoping to come out with my EDC, my on my person EDC. I've already done my backpack. This is all just basically for me to keep organized on what I'm putting on YouTube. So it helps me keep motivated a little bit. Working on my short-term food and water storage. Bugging in. That's going to be my first goal to do. And I'm hoping to do a bag on my wife's bug-out bag and I have a baby's bug-out bag. It's kind of morbid to think about having an infant bug-out bag, but I'm going to do it because I have an infant. I also have a dog, too, and the dog's going to have its own bug-out bag. I'm also very interested in doing a lot of research on caching supplies, food, water, ammo, and I'm going to have a little disguise on how I'm going to do that as well. And then also with different bug-out locations. I'm not saying I'm going to go into the sticks all the time. I might go to a family's house that's in the country or something, so I want to have routes for that and cache locations for that. And then also just general long-term food and water storage. So I'm planning on using a lot of different inspirations, stuff from the SAS Survival book, stuff from you, especially from Erik The Black and Nutnfancy. I've been really inspired by a lot of the stuff they do. So that's kind of what this series is going to be, so I hope you like it. And if you're not interested in this, you can go to a different channel. I'm sure it'll be boring for a lot of other people. But that's my plan. So hopefully, maybe in a few months, a year, that this bag will be no longer, it'll be recycled, and I will have a new bug-out bag. That's something I can be proud of, and that I could thank you for helping me create. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it wasn't too much talking. And I'll start getting started on the different areas. Have a good day.